Hey Spurs, I wanted to go over the writing part of your performance task. I'm going to show you an example using the story that we read, Mountain of Fire, to do the performance task piece. Of course, when you do your performance task, it's going to be over your own story. So let's look over the performance task to make sure that we understand it. Starting here with the rubric, you're going to read an informational text, so a story that's true. You can do that through Epic. You can do that through Storyworks, or if there's one of your own stories that you have, you can use that as well. You just need to give me the name of the story, the book, or the text. It could be an article as well. Something nonfiction. You're going to identify the central idea. We did central idea about 3 weeks ago, and the central idea is what the story is mostly about for nonfiction. The student identifies the organizational pattern, and we talked about it being cause and effect, or it'll be about problem and solution. Okay, and then you'll identify the how the pattern helps you understand the central idea, and that's where you'll use evidence from your story. Okay, and of course appropriate punctuation and grammar when you respond. All right, so I gave you a sentence stem to start off your writing to help you. So I wrote it, I start to type it down here. I started to get a little bit ahead. So the central idea of Mountain of Fire is that the eruption of Mount St. Helens was unexpected and caused a lot of damage and changed the way we looked at volcanoes. The author organized the text by using cause and effect, and we had talked about that in the previous video, okay? Because in the story they didn't talk about a solution, but they talked about the cause, what happened with the cause, and then what was the effect. And we said that the cause is the why something happens, and then the effect is the result. Okay, so we're going to do some cause and effect examples from the story. The author organized the text by using cause and effect. Some examples are let's do this. An example is that after the 1850s, Mount St. Helens didn't erupt for many years. So many people, including the Smiths, that's who the story that we read was about the Smith family, including the Smiths, thought it was safe to live and work near the volcano. Okay, an example is that after the 1950s, Mount St. Helens didn't erupt for many years, so many people, including the Smiths, thought it was safe to live and work near the volcano. So that's cause and effect. So the cause is that this beginning part, because it did not erupt for so many years, and the effect of that was that people thought it was safe to live near the volcano. So that's one example of cause and effect that was used in the story. And I'll just do one more. Another example is Mount St. Helens rumbled a bit a few months before the Smith's camping trip. But it quieted down again. Okay, so that part is the cause. Mount St. Helens rumbled a bit a few months before the Smith's camping trip, but it quieted down again. So the effect of that was that, and then Mount St. Helens erupted. Okay, so that's another example of showing how cause and effect was used in the story. So remember, the cause is why, I'm sorry, looking at my chart back here. The cause is why something happened, and then the effect is the result of that. Okay, so whenever you do your writing piece, make sure you list. Well, first of all, read an informational text. Identify the central idea, which is what the story is mostly about. Identify the organizational pattern. Was it cause and effect or problem and solution? Because we only studied those two. And then give me a couple examples from your story that shows cause and effect, or a couple of sentences that shows problem and solution was used. All right, I hope that helps you with your writing piece for your performance task this week. I look forward to reading all your work, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye, guys.